The audience wants to see more of you. They want to see your logo personified, see behind the curtain, see who actually makes up the company, not just another machine that's spitting out content like a machine.
I'm a pretty lucky dad right here.
One of the main surprises to me is how in-depth you guys wanted to go to build the website based off of who we are. So I was extremely impressed with that.
Not far away on a rugged section of the California coast, the lone cypress clings to a barren rock and struggles to survive. While here, for Benjamin Perez, the struggle is over, having already secured this season's American iRacing Tuesday Series Championship. Sanctioned by the Precision Racing League, the AITS brings its fleet of GTE sports cars to WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca for the Lone Cypress Season 12 finale. From where everyone wishes their girls could be from, California, hello and welcome to the Global SimRacing Channel's Countdown to Green as cyberspace flows into your place over these 15 streaming award-worthy minutes. You'll get all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to fully appreciate GSRC's Green Flag to Victory Donuts coverage of the American iRacing Tuesday Series the Lone Cypress Season 12 finale that will immediately follow as we count down to green. And here to do all of that, it's Soup and Crackers. Yours truly, Bill Soup Zahn, joined way up in the press box to bring you our Word's Eye view by Sean Crackers Ambrose. Once again, the hardest working man in sim race broadcasting, Joe Peak, is our director, armed with cameras located, aimed, zoomed, and focused by GSRC's camera guru, Dougie Beard. Now, Northern California has two terrific road courses, a little north from here and a bit inland in Vineyard Country. It's the track that attracts the more prestigious real-world racing series, that being Sonoma Raceway. But Crackers, while Sonoma is where they bottle the wine, today it's all about opening the bottle because Laguna Seca has the corkscrew.
Soup, it does. That's a long corkscrew, too. It's about 59 feet long. Anyway, the track, though, located just off the Central California coast, near beautiful Monterey and, of course, the famous Pebble Beach golf course. In Spanish, Laguna Seca means dry lake. And, well, if you look at the surrounding landscape around here, that would support the translation. They built the track in 1957, and it was a regular stop for kart from 1983 to 2004. IndyCar has since moved on to Sonoma and, well, has the Indy Lights. And the WeatherTech sports car series still comes here. And, well, why wouldn't they? They own the naming rights to this track now. Soup just recently acquired. And, even Formula One made a pitch to run here. But Laguna Seca was thought to maybe be a little bit remote, maybe even a little bit small for a Formula One crowd. And, well, they gave Phoenix the nod. Ooh, Phoenix. Not really. We love everybody in Phoenix. This 3.6-kilometer track, though, 2.2 miles, is fun. It has elevation changes. It goes from the bottom up to about an 18-story building all the way to the top. And that corkscrew that I turned about turn 11, it's about a 59-foot drop there off the top of the hill through that corkscrew, Soup. And we always see a lot of action there. I don't expect today to be any different. But the best way to get an idea what this place is really like is to jump on board the GSRC Lap Guide.
All right, we've got Kevin Brown behind the wheel of the GSRC BMW, so let's do a lap around Laguna Seca. The bend over the crest is technically turn 1, but it's flat out the whole way over. From there, line the car up on the right and brake for the Andretti hairpin. This is probably your best passing opportunity on the track, so expect lots of action around this double apexer. As we pass the pit exit, we switch left and get the car slowed for 3. Greedy drivers will probably run wide here often. Then it's a short burst before 4, which is a pretty fast right-hander. But it's critical to nail it because there's a bit of a stretch until 5. Anyone close to you could take advantage of a mistake and sneak a pass up the inside into this uphill left turn. And you really don't want to be going too wide here because this turn is all about momentum since it's cambered and very steep on exit. After that, 6 is even less desirable to go through side by side. It's a sharp flick and single file only. Cars can end up in the walls on either side with the smallest mistake. But by now we're at the top of the Rahal Straight and hitting the infamous corkscrew. Blind braking point, blind turn in, blind everything as you drop down multiple stories of elevation. Before you have time to relax though, you're into Rainy Curve. This is the longest turn on the track and it's got a very late apex. From there, we cross the track and brush the brakes for 10. Lots of banking here, so carry your speed through the apex. At last, it's the final hairpin. Once again, if you're sneaky and your opponent makes a mistake, this can be a possible place to pass. Just be careful that it doesn't become a dive bomb. From there, head back up the hill to the start-finish line and complete a lap around Laguna Seca.
Joe Peak taking us around the dusty and daunting Laguna Seca. All right, now let's take a lap around the point standings. And because the rules allow for the drivers to drop their worst result, despite only a 15-point lead over second-place Christian Eisler, Benjamin Perez has clinched the championship, his second in a row. That number by the droplet on Perez's row represents his worst result that has been dropped from this season's total. So with Perez guaranteed 27 points, Christian Eisler will not be able to steal the crown. But the SDS Racing Blue driver is secure in second, as Sergio Piz-Maujo, or Asturias World Team, will not be able to close the gap from third. But drop insurance becomes very important for the final podium spot because, as indicated by the zero, Maujo has none. This gives SDS Black's Juan Landini a real shot at stealing that final podium spot. HDF1 Motorsports Kenny Duvall holds station in 5th, but like Maujo, has no pocket point security. Let's take a look at the team championship, where Eisler may not have won the Drivers' Championship, but he can take solace in the fact that, along with his teammate Francisco Montini, SDA Blue will be the Season 12 team champions. Like in the Drivers' Championship, a Tourist World Team Sergio Peace Maujo is being chased by SDS Racing's Black Swan Landini. It could come down to teammates Moises Lobato versus Sebastian Maciera. Quebec Racing looks to be safe in 4th. Danny Duchesne and Guillaume Dupont doing the racing there. And the team that really needs to come up with a catchier title, WERA BBS Racing, should hold on to 5th, manned by Gary Schilling and Richie Penninger. So, we've talked about the most photographed tree in the world. We've talked about the track. Joe Peak took us on a lap around the track. We've shown the driver and team standings. The last two pieces of business on the countdown to green, which my partner has the honor of doing for the final time this season, is to go over the race details and thank our sponsors.
Soup, let's do it, buddy. This is the end of Season 12, the final round 10. Of course, the Ferrari is the 48 Ferrari is we've been running all season. The Ford GT, the 2017 model here in the league, and today's race, Soup, will be 45 minutes. One pit stop. Why? They don't have enough fuel to get it done in 45 minutes. The setups are open. That's part of this strategy here. So the drivers are allowed to alter these cars in a way that suits their fastest style. If you haven't seen this before, these cars, the GTEs, are a lot of fun. And Soup, into the cap of 30. Don't think we'll see that tonight. I don't think anybody should have trouble with that. Laguna Seca is it's a forgiving track. It can be a very punishing track, though, if you let it and you make mistakes in places like the corkscrew. If you do, if you bang up the car, you'll get one chance to pull in the spare car and get back out on track to compete.
And then, of course, we have a couple sponsors that make this race very entertaining.
Yes, Soup, and there are some nice prizes the drivers competing for, courtesy of Apex Button Box. The winner of the series will be awarded a 16-function button box, courtesy of Apex Button Box, affordable, reliable button boxes for those who don't have the time or material to make their own. Visit them at facebook.com/Apex Button Box. Transdo Transport, sponsoring the Transdo Cup. The driver with the fewest incidents at the end of the season is going to get $75, Soup. Visit them at transdo.ca/home.
And we thank the sponsors for making it interesting and giving the drivers a little bit something to race for, as long as for bragging rights as well. Let's talk about bragging rights. Let's look at what's going on in qualifying. Oh, Sean, first let's go ahead and look at the weather here in California. Ooh, it's kind of a little bit chilly for us.
Yeah, it's overcast too. So look for a somewhat grippy track here. Not a whole lot of wind either, so may not wreak a whole lot of havoc on them at the top of the hill today, Soup.
Northern California noted for its marine layer, they like to call it, so clearly that hasn't burned off yet. Now let's get to the on-track business and see who's out there in front. No surprise to see Benjamin Perez sitting on the pole by about a tenth of a second over, well, not his biggest rival. It's Sergio Peace Maujo.
Yeah, Maujo, not bad here so far in qualifying. It was pretty fast in practice.
Looking at Eisler right there, the Iceman, sitting third.
That's where I was going next. And now he's actually in fourth. And Soup, I have a feeling he might have a fast lap in him left here. We're just under 2 minutes now.
Kenny Duvall with a nice time sneaking up into the third spot. He's not even out on the track. He's feeling confident with his time. Way to go. Eisler on a kind of a bum lap right now, so he's going to maybe get one, maybe two more chances at it here as he comes across the line right now. Try to put in a good one.
Yeah, I think this is going to be it right here, Soup.
This is open qualifying, so all the cars are out there at the same time. He's got to make sure to keep that car out of pit lane, and he does. That was Tyler Gore. I don't think Tyler's going to be able to get in a hot lap now at the end of qualifying. Eisler right on board with the Iceman. Sean, you talked about this track being forgiving. We'll stay on this for a little bit. Corner 5, a lot of good runoff here. But we just did a race here the other day in the SRFs, and I'm telling you, corner 6 was hungry, and they come up to it right now.
It was, and Soup, this car, though, handles much different than at SRF. This, honestly, turn 6 is a little easier in these cars, I think, honestly. I think you can carry a little bit more speed and not worry about running the car off the track quite as much as we watch Eisler get down the hill pretty quickly there. That was a nice run through the corkscrew. He's got a good one going here, Soup.
One more corner after this one, the left hand that'll set up onto the main straight and put the start-finish line in front of him. Here he goes. Actually, he might get one more lap here. I think they'll let him finish this one. Is he going to come across? Let's see how he does.
Okay.
Does he better his time? He does not. A little bit, but he stays in fourth. Yeah.
Yeah, that he went purple there, but not enough to get him ahead of Kenny Duval. Kenny's got a great time right now, man. He's only that. Yeah, he's just missed Sergio.
Pretty good turnout. We're going to look at some of these guys trying to put in their last lap of qualifying here. This is Hugo Galles. Usually races somewhere around in the back, and he's going to start again in 18th position. There's Fernando Rodriguez, just a little bit ahead of Galles.
Yeah, he's got Matthew Fraley right behind him, who's sitting in 8th currently. These will be the last two, Soup.
These will be our last two qualifiers. Did a little research on Fraley. You know, it's Ace Fraley for Kiss, but he spells it differently, and it's William Frawley, of course, Fred Mertz on the I Love Lucy, and he spells it differently as well. So I'm still not real confident on Fraley. We're going to go with Fraley. That'll do it. Qualifying is done. Let's go ahead and set the starting grid for you. We'll take it a row at a time. It is, well, Benjamin Perez on the inside, but look at this. Sergio Pismaucho going to be outside of row 1.
Row 2 is going to have some familiar faces too. Soup, Kenny Duval and Christian, the Iceman Eisler.
Duval's got to be happy with that third spot in qualifying. Sebastian Maciera in 5th. Juan Landini behind him.
And Soup, after them, we get on down to Guillaume Dupont and Matthew Fraley completing row 4.
John Carini in 9th position. He's going to be inside of Mark File.
Row 6, Tyler Gore and Lucio Vargas will start 12th.
In the Baker's Dozen spot, it's Eric Luke, flanked by Fernando Rodriguez.
Row 8, Moises Lobato in 15th, Sean Kenning, 16th.
Behind them, it's Richard Colomb in the 18th spot, Hugo Galles.
And in row 10, it's going to be Kelly Thornton and Gary Schilling.
Rounding out your field of 22, Ralph Connor Jr. and Matthew Cisna. He's going to be flying back there, bringing up the rear. You know, a 22-car field here at the very end of the season is a pretty respectable turnout. I'd like to congratulate all the drivers and series organizers for putting on a fine series all season long. GSRC was happy to be here for the entire run from the opening round to the finale here today. All 10 races we were here for. Some great racing. Blessed to be part of it. Right now, our attention will go up to the pole sitter, Benjamin Perez. He was last season's champion. He picks up another one. Sean, what the drivers want to do is try to close out the season on a high note, build a little momentum coming into season 13 next year.
Yeah, Soup, definitely. But you know what? I think also they want to have a little bit of fun. And Laguna Seca, a great track to do it at, I think.
Pace car pulls away. And here at Laguna Seca, we go all the way around, so you'll get a chance to look at, well, what is not the prettiest of scenery. Sean, hard to believe that just a few miles over is probably one of the most gorgeous golf courses in the world, Pebble Beach. You sure wouldn't know it by looking at what this place is like. That's a lot for irrigation, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing they haven't gotten any of that seawater over here. But no, Soup. I think one of the great things about Laguna Seca is, of course, it's available to everybody here on iRacing. When you get your feet wet with road courses here on the surface, Laguna Seca is an exciting one to challenge yourself with. Lime Rock, tracks like that, they're fun, but they're not quite as long, not quite as forgiving as Laguna Seca can be. So this is a fun one to try and get a fast car and hot lap in. A lot of these drivers, though, don't specialize in hot lapping. They specialize in racing together. And we're going to see a lot of that tonight. Like I said, this being round 10, I expect to see everybody having a little bit of fun tonight.
Yeah, Laguna Seca certainly has one of the more iconic corners. When you're watching in the real world, you're tuned into a race and not sure what you're looking at, and all of a sudden you see them heading down the corkscrew, and you can know right away where you are. Now they are working towards the corkscrew right now. As they drop down, the field will serpentine its way through the corkscrew. Sharp left and a sharp right. Then back on the throttle for the rainy curve. They better do a little catching up there to Perez. He's got about a 10-car length lead over Sergio Maucho, and there's only 2 corners to go here.
Yeah, the back of the field really spread out here. Time for him to get caught up.
The pace car's the pace car driver here is really proficient at handling the corkscrew. All right, they come out of 11. Perez waits, everyone getting in their spot. For the final time this season, gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows because the horses are out of the barn. And sure enough, it is your champion, Benjamin Perez, leading the field down into corner number 2, the Andretti hairpin. 1, 2, 3, 4. They go 3 wide, a little bumping and banging. Getting pushed off is Juan Landini. Juan brings it back on. There's a car spinning around. That's Guillaume Dupont. He's going to lose a ton of positions from 7th. He cycles back into 20th. A little messy through the hairpin.
Yeah, and I think Sebastian Maciera got right up under Dupont, and that's what got him around. A lot of cars spinning back there, Soup, but everybody's still going.
Now they start to string out single file, all behind Benjamin Perez. Can Sergio Maucho stick with him? We'll find out. Can the Iceman make up some ground as he's racing back in 4th position? We'll find out that as well. In the mix is a man who qualified really good, Kenny Duvall, as the leaders work their way through the corkscrew for the first time.
So far, so good. And everybody makes it. Moises Lobato bringing up the rear here.
Even the drivers who got bumped and banged are still in the hunt. Oh, a little spin from the back. And Ralph Connor got turned around by Lobato that Sean just talked about. That was in the caboose position. There's Lobato. There's Connor's right there. Lobato continues on.
Yeah, we're going to pick this up on replay, actually. Here we go.
And it's Lobato in 2nd. Connor, who qualified in that position. Lobato's back there from the mistake, and Lobato a little bit in a hurry. All right, we come back live. And when we come back, we're going to be looking at Sergio Pismora racing in 2nd. He's 1.8 seconds behind the man who's been the man all season long, Benjamin Perez. Duvall has had trouble. Oh, we're looking, there's Duvall. Duvall is being hunted.
He is by our good friend the Iceman right now. And we've had drivers with a lot of trouble here in the opening laps. Guillaume Dupont just had another spin. He's back and running. Everybody's okay. It's just a sloppy start here for a few guys.
I'm going through my software. It can tell me when they pick up incident points as well, and they are picking them up going through the corkscrew. As we look there at Gary Schilling in 17th position. Let's go up and look at Matthew Fraley trying to hold off Sebastian Maciera. This is for 5th spot.
Well, Fraley has already picked up 3 spots.
He's in trouble here, though.
Yeah, he is.
Boy, he was really slow. Yeah, bobble out of the corner, lost all of his momentum. Let's move Fraley down to 6. Sebastian Maciera back up. Oh, Maciera spins right in front of Fraley. That was going through 5.
Wow.
Take a look at this one. Now, he had just made the pass on Fraley. That's Fraley in the yellow car. He makes the pass. We saw that live. And then as we pulled away, it was just 1 corner later.
Yeah, and he's just going to lose this suit. Rear end's going to step out on him. He got back across the track, sets up the turn perfectly, and whether he got back to the throttle too quick or a little bit of combination of that curve there, none of it worked. He slid it out and around into the dirt and loses a lot of spots, all the way back to 13th.
You talked about the dirt, Sean, and this is one of the tracks on iRacing when they brought in the dynamic track condition. Oh, look at this. There's Landini having trouble. That this track can get dusty. Let's look at Landini. See if we can see where this is. Looks fine here. I'm watching it for the first time. We just saw the tail end of it. All by himself, just a spin.
Yeah.
Boy, everyone does a good job of getting around him. Boy, that's really fun to watch on that low angle that Dougie Beard gave us there.
Eisler got past Duvall. He's up in the podium spot now.
Yeah, Duvall may be punching above his weight class there with that great qualifying time. No offense, Kenny, but this is probably where you belong here in 4th position. All season long, it has been. Yeah, Sean, it's the same 3 guys. Perez, Maljo, and Eisler. Not always in that order, but usually running up front.
I think Lucio Vargas had a problem, Soup. He was well ahead of Landini and Maciera. Now, all of a sudden, they have caught him in a heartbeat now, heading down into the final turn here in 11. I think they've got him set up. They're about to take him over here coming up the front straight.
And we can stay on this one because this is a nice little train going on. This is Vargas in 10th, Landini behind him, Maciera, Rodriguez not that far back. Colum, let's go back to 13th or 14th real quick. This is Colum being challenged by DuPont. DuPont in the McDonald's car trying to pick up some positions. He gets him through the hairpin, forces Colum a little wide. And now Colum is in challenge of losing a spot to Sean Kenning. Kenning's going to back out. But good battles going. Let's go up front to 11th as going around the outside. Maciera gets around Vargas. You called it, Sean.
It started with Landini, though, and Vargas, I don't know. I don't see any damage, but he is really off pace right now. He's about to lose another spot here to Guillaume DuPont.
Going to look at right now, Vargas in that twilight-colored car there, the purple-blue machine with the yellow trim.
I did mean actually Rodriguez and DuPont have now set up Vargas. Could possibly lose 4 spots here in a matter of a lap, Sue.
Vargas negotiating the hairpin. Rodriguez and DuPont coming up. DuPont, of course, in the McDonald's car. Qualified 7th, ran into some early trouble. I think DuPont's going to get Rodriguez and then Vargas in that order. Racing back there for 12th position. Coming up to corner 11. Now on the gas. Complete lap 5, start lap number 6. Of course, laps don't matter as we're racing for 45 minutes. Looking at a battle for 13th. Sure enough, there it is. Hey, it's Big Mac time as Guillaume DuPont gets the pass made.
Well, Guillaume's got a lot of ground to make up, and it's all, one more good spot in front of him. He's got to get to racing here, Soup. There's a little help. He gets a little help with a spin there by Vargas. Man, poor Lucio. He's just been struggling here, Soup.
And Lucio finally gets it going. He's going to sort out into 18th position. Yeah, we saw that. He's qualified 12th and was going the wrong way. Let's go ahead and look in on 6th position. Car out in front is Jean Carini and our old friend Tyler Gore. Up. How about let's go to Sean Kenning right now. Boy, he almost didn't get a replay of this. Almost got into the back of Richard Colum heading down into the hairpin. Brought it in.
He's going to outbreak himself here at the top of the hill, Soup. He gets really lucky here.
Here he comes. He brings this car in. Well, my dad used to say, deeper than Buddha's belly button here. Then he has to turn it to get out of the way. A little bit of Spartacus racing there, sacrificing himself for the good of everyone else.
I think he might have been a little bit of a victim of braking and hitting that curb at the same time. Kenny's going to go for the stop, Soup.
Brings it in the pits a little early, my friend. Do you think Crackers probably can't get there from here, huh? Close.
You know what? I think maybe he can. I do. You don't know that he'll make a run to the front of the pack from where he's at, but I think he could survive this with now 6 full laps under his belt. I think the possibility is there.
Well, maybe the drivers will settle down a bit. Sean, why don't we run down the top 10? How about we take them 5 at a time? Up in front, it is Benjamin Perez. He has 3.7 seconds on the man who qualified right behind him, and that is Sergio Maljo. Maljo has almost 5 seconds on the Iceman. The Iceman is going to finish second in the points. Would like to see if he can get a win wrapping up this season. In 4th position, he qualified 3rd. The Iceman got around him. It's Kenny Duvall still having a good run, but he got to be careful because Matthew Fraley is coming. Who do you got in 6th?
So I have Jean Carini in 6th right now, and boy, Tyler Gore is a busy man right behind him, filling up the mirror right now in 7th. Another battle right behind them. That's going to be Mark Feil and Eric Luke, 8th and 9th. And Soup, this is all of a sudden a really, really good pack here.
Yeah.
Back in 10th, Juan Manuel Landini holding off Sebastian Maciera, who's trying to get the egg off his face. Soup, after a little bit of trouble here early, and he's doing a pretty good job. He's already picked up a couple, and yeah, there's several more in front. Oh, maybe not.
Well.
Oh. Well, folks, if you're playing along, commentators curse.
There was your top 10 rundown plus 1, and sure enough, Maciera, he was the one that could not hold on. So with that, let's go ahead and look at the battle at 8. We've caught this as we do in our rundown. This is Mark Feil being chased by Eric Luke. And just ahead of them, it's a pretty good battle, too, with, going off! That is Sean Kenny, but he's a lap down, just getting out of the way.
Exactly, Soup. That was Sean getting out of the way. Now, Soup, he must have had some more trouble when he came back out from his pit stop, because I'm seeing the hood on that car already missing. He must have had a problem again. Already used his fast repair.
Well, we'll leave him off the screen. Save him and his family the embarrassment of a bad day. Let's look at 6th position. This is Jean Carini being challenged by Tyler Gore. Tyler Gore is a fun driver to watch. He notoriously goes the right direction from either he's a pretty good racer or a really bad qualifier, because he always seems to end up well ahead from where he qualifies.
Fraley, you know what? I mean, to start with saying Fraley, but out in the chat, Soup, they're thinking that maybe Fraley and Duvall are going to shape up to be a really good battle, and there actually may be some good quality trash talking going on as they go by each other.
About 2.5 seconds between them right now, as we continue to look at the battle for 6th.
You think maybe somebody will say something about somebody's sister or something like that there, Soup?
They're all very polite here in the American iRacing Tuesday series. Oh, there's a Canadian involved. Yeah. It is a Canadian-based series, so that's probably why. Look at this battle for 9th now. We're looking at the one up here. Drop back a few spots, Director, because here comes Juan Landini. Remember, he qualified 6th, so he really doesn't belong back here. He's trying to make it up.
Yeah.
And deep into the hairpin, Sean.
Yeah, and looking to, go through a little bit further here. He's got to get around Mark Feil. And Feil's had a really good run here to start the race. Landini going to have to pass him clean. A lot of cars in front of Landini here. It's the battle we were talking about.
We're not going to go there, but Hugo Gallus just had us another spin. He's having a rough day as well. We are on board with Landini. In 10th position.
Yep, Mark Feil, honestly, Sue, Feil using up the track in front of him, not really opening anything up for him. Oh.
And I believe the car that is Hugo Gallas that I just talked about. He's exploring the terrain here of Northern California. looking for a certain variety of cactus. Coming out of corner 11 now. Now they're on the gas. Carini in 6th, he's safe. Gore in 7th, about 5 car lengths back is Eric Luke. The real challenge is Mark Feil, because with a run is Juan Landini. They go through corner number 1, and now they're Landini dives it in. Can he get it wound up? He does!
Yeah, man, I think Mark left it open just a little bit too much right there. It wasn't much at all. It's a very narrow doorway to get through, but Landini pulls it off. Eric Luke next on his list.
Would not be surprised if Landini's somewhere in his heritage is some vacuum cleaner salesmanship, because, boy, the door was open, and Landini put his foot in and said, Mr. Feil, I got something for you. Now he's up in the 9th position, running down Luke.
Yeah, Luke, who had just locked him up here a moment ago, probably fighting those tires a little bit after beating on him. Now Luke gets a nice trip through the corkscrew that time. Doesn't have to lock him up there. And up in front of him, got to be careful. Somebody off on the track. Who's that? That's Kelly Thornton.
Trying to get out of the way. Oh! Eric Luke had an eyeful of that one.
That was almost an ender for Luke. What a save by Luke. We'll get an onboard of it in a moment. Watch, there's Thornton locking him up. And got the corkscrew there, and then the car cuts back. It gets out in the dirt, and it cuts back to the left across the track.
And we talked about this being a Canadian-based series. I'm not surprised if Eric Luke is some French-Canadian, because he had an eyeful of that one.
I just hope somebody got an I'm sorry in there.
Perez, Maljo, Racing 1-2. I want to duck in as we come back live. Let's check back in on the leaders, but not all the way up to the front. Let's check in on Christian Eisler, because, Sean, Kenny Duval hanging in there. He's only a second and a half, well, less than a second and a half back.
Listen, I was impressed with Duval's qualifying time. Duval not playing around tonight. He's letting it all hang out. Does have some damage on the left front of the car, so got to be a little bit concerned about that, but he is keeping it close. Right now, driving to the pit stop. That will get him in good shape to pull the spare car out. Who knows? Maybe make a run at a podium here tonight.
Yeah. And Cologne comes in for a stop. And he's back out. But, Sean, while we like to keep tabs on what's going up on front, the action has really been back. It starts with Carini in 6th, Gore, Luke, Landini, and DuPont is right up. You know, DuPont's trying to make up for that early mistake. He's got that McDonald's car all over the back of Landini right now. As they head through 5, now up to the dangerous corner 6. I'll take my partner's word for it that in these Ferraris, they're not as scary. A little more downforce, Sean. Is that what they stick a little better through 6?
Yeah. And overall, I mean, listen, there's really, I think I talked about it in the SR broadcast. Not many adjustments you can make to the car, Soup. It's it's underpowered and heavier for its size. So this car dialed in, high performance machine. Again, you get a much better run down there, the bottom up the hill.
Now, that little battle that was going on, we lose one as Juan Landini comes in. Probably that's a smart move, because coming up behind him was Guillaume DuPont in that McDonald's car. And oh my goodness, they come up Tyler Gore really slow, getting into the Andretti hairpin. Either that or Eric Luke was really good under braking as he gobbled him up. Gore's struggling a bit, it looks like. Now he's back in his rhythm, but here comes Eric Luke. DuPont watching from 9th position. Luke going a little bit wide. driver that belongs in this battle just took his pit stop. Uh-oh, I heard it too. What do we got? Oh, no, there it is. It's Luke.
Oh.
Out of the corkscrew. You're up, you're going down, and then it's coming around.
Yeah, so he's just going to lock him up here. And that did not end well. Jeez. You know, Luke had a close moment coming up the hill into the corkscrew. He got 2 tires off the right in the dirt. He gathered it back up, but then he just locks him up coming down.
Well, to put a silver lining around that dark cloud, he is in the pit window, and the corkscrew is darn close to pit entrance. So, all things considered, it's going to play out okay for him. He's going to get a fresh car, not lose a ton of time.
Well, Soapy's going to get that extra car to work with. Certainly in a pit window now.
But what I believe is going to happen is Juan Landini, remember, he was in that battle with those guys. He pulled off. That's the guy to keep an eye on. Landini out there hot lapping right now in 3rd position. And there you're looking at the guys he's trying to catch. Tyler Gore, Carini, and Frawley. They race up there in 5th position. This is a good one.
Ooh, Tyler Gore just picks up another position, Soup. Gets around Carini.
And then gives it up as he comes into the pits. He was in a hurry to get there. Brings DuPont in behind him. Boy, that McDonald's car almost got into the back of Gore's gearbox. Put a little grease on those fries. We're going to ride on board with the McDonald's car right now.
I think he was just...
Here he comes, and whoa, that's okay. He knew what he was doing.
Boy, not much separating there in the box right now. It does look like it might have been a last-minute decision. Richard Colomb really slow on the course right now. I think he might have got a cut course there. He slowed down, let File and Connor just go right by him.
Let's pick up Landini real quick. Landini is just into the Andretti hairpin right now. And sure enough, coming out, he's going to jump Gore and DuPont. Remember, we talked about this? Landini jumps, and now look at DuPont. DuPont really good at coming into pit lane, really good exiting pit lane as well as he gets Tyler Gore. So here's how that shakes out. Landini now in 11th, about a second and a half ahead of DuPont, and Tyler Gore behind them. Yeah. Now here is Lucio Vargas. He still needs to make a pit stop. Landini's behind him. Vargas not being shown. Well, that's one way to get off the road. Easy now. And Vargas not being shown the blue flag, as that's a battle for position. And they get that sorted out as they go through the corkscrew. Top 9 drivers still yet to pit. Lobato, Rodriguez, Marciera, Carini, Frawley, Duval, Eisler, Maujo, and Perez in reverse order.
DuPont got to take care of Vargas here, Soup.
Yeah, DuPont is not going to be that patient as he has places to go. And I think Vargas knew what was going on there as he gave him the inside line. That's some good racing from Lucio. Probably Lucio Vargas not probably used to racing with DuPont. On the other hand, Tyler Gore might be a little tougher too, as I think these guys will probably spend time on the track next to each other.
Yeah, I'm thinking Vargas is setting up for a pit stop here at some point too, so maybe best not to race either of these guys too hard, knowing he still has to get in and get out clean.
We talked about Juan Landini making the stop. He is the highest pitter. Racing right now in 10th position, comfortably ahead of the guys he was racing with, although that McDonald's car, DuPont, is a coming. We haven't checked in on Eisler and Duval. Let's see what's going on up there. They said that this could be a battle. I don't think so. Duval looks pretty comfortable. And while this is going on, Kelly Thornton. Let's take a look at Kelly Thornton, director, if we can, because this one's interesting. Sean, this one looked like maybe hardware problem or Oh, I'm sorry. It must have been a little farther back,
no,
isn't it?
yeah. Kelly's been out for a bit. Soup.
Okay.
He
just kind of took it, straight lined it right through the corkscrew.
Yeah, he's had some issues tonight. That wasn't the first one for him.
I heard a crash, and then I rewound, and it took me to the wrong spot there. But we're okay now. We're certainly not having the kind of day he would hope for. So the other battle we were told to watch out for was going to be Duval and Fraley. Well, I'm not buying that one easy, as Kenny's got 8 seconds on Fraley.
Yeah, in fact, if they're going to be doing any trash talking, it's going to be through bullhorns at this point. Soup.
The real battle is... Oh, I thought we had a battle, but this is Ralph Connor getting out of the way. Carini in 6th. He's comfortable as well. Here is a... Oh, boy. We have cars that are several laps down. We're looking at Carini. Let's drop back 1 car, Director. Actually back to Ralph Connor in 18th. A little interesting dynamic going on here with Mark Feil. Mark Feil gets around him. They were trying to get their dance steps straightened out. And it's always nice to show Ralph Connor out there anywhere. You know why, Sean? You know why I like to look at Ralph Connor?
Why's that, Soup?
He's in that beautiful Ford, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, Soup, Gore still has not been able to clear Vargas here. Vargas really fighting for that spot. Everybody else running away.
Remember, Tyler Gore was leading these guys coming into the pits. Or working hard.
Soup, Kelly Thornton, who we talked about a moment ago, bringing his car back out on track after a couple minutes in.
All of this going on behind, we look there at Kelly Thornton, going on behind our leader. Yes, we have a leader. He was the Season 11 champion. He is your Season 12 champion. He is Benjamin Perez, and that's how you negotiate the corkscrew. Doing that successfully for the 20th time. Hustling into the right-hander, corner number 10. Back on the throttle, brings the car over to the left to get a good run through 11, get the power down, start down the front straight. There is Benjamin Perez. How far ahead is he? Well, you can see indicated there 7.2 seconds before you get to Sergio Maujo. You know, Sean, let's give Maujo a little credit, though. He's always been fast. The problem is he never seems to get the car cleanly to the checker flag. Maybe today he's going to get that done.
I hope so, Soup. That'd be a great way to end the season. So far, so good, man. He's had a good run here. Let's just face it, Perez has just been he's been hooked up since he got started. Maujo done a great job, though, to maintain second place. And honestly, he's dropped Eisler. Eisler's just got nothing for him today.
Certainly Maujo a driver to keep an eye on if we get lucky enough to come back for next season. He started the season racing around fifth, sixth position, slowly but surely became a front runner. And right now, really having a good run. Best in class, if you consider Benjamin Perez in a class of his own. Go back and look here at DuPont. As he tries to work his way up through.
He certainly is, Soup. They are starting to catch Lobato. Now, Lobato, of course, going to be at the end of these cars that have not pitted yet.
How does that Styx Tune song go, Sean?
The point of no return?
No. The Japanese one where they say...
Oh, no. Mr. Roboto?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think right now they're asking Mr. Lobato to get out of the way here.
Tori Origato.
There you go. That's our director. This is a great... Oh, my. This is Landini coming up. Now, remember, Landini and DuPont have made their pits. Lobato has not. We'll stay on this a minute. I wouldn't be surprised here if this is all we say Moises says goodbye here. He does not. Ooh, my. All right, the SDS black car of Juan Landini. Trying to see if he can get around Lobato. You can't waste too long because that McDonald's car is coming of Guillaume Dupont. I'm sorry, Sean. I really do enjoy Dupont in the McDonald's car, but don't you think he should be like get like a clone of that Jeff Gordon car? Don't you?
Sure,
think?
right, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be one of those nice DuPont Chrome Illusion cars or something like that. Exactly. I'm with you. The McDonald's car belongs to Joe McDonald.
It does, really. Here comes the pass. Landini's going to duck in there. And
oh, boy.
Oh,
no. Lobato hangs on. Oh.
Woo.
Well, that just wasn't very nice, Sue.
Well, corner number 6, maybe not the place you want to make the pass. And what that did was bring DuPont right in there. All right, well, Lobato now can pit. Vargas pits finally. Ralph Connor gets the Ford out of the way. Let's go up to corner 11 here with Landini. On the outside, it's the McDonald's car making a move. He'll get some momentum. Now it's a drag race. Just a little bit more momentum for the McDonald's car. A little shorter around for Landini. Landini playing defense. Going to leave the outside open. That'll let DuPont drive it in deep. But he can't get it. But boy, he's coming.
Sue, Benjamin Perez is in the pits. He's coming down the lane now. Sergio Piz Maljo stays out.
New leader.
Maljo just went purple on his last lap.
I'll tell you right now, if the hippies come in and have a sit-in here at Laguna Seca, that's what Sergio Maljo's hoping for this race to be called early. We have gone halfway.
Only really have, my estimation, just a little over 11 laps left at this point. Time to get busy here.
Perez back out on track, comes out right behind Ralph Connor. The only drivers to stay out, Maljo and Eisler. They're going to go run a little bit long. Remember, Christian Eisler earlier this season decided to stay out one extra lap, only to find out he couldn't make that one extra lap.
Duvall's out, watching him come on screen here and get on the track.
Lucky for Eisler, it's pretty much downhill to the pit lane. Eisler working his way through the rainy curve. Maljo in the pits. Eisler in the pits. Where is Perez, you may ask? Well, he's negotiated corkscrew through the rainy curve right now, heading up to the right-hander. That is corner number 10. He'll comfortably get these guys. And Matthew Frawley decides to come in, make his final stop.
This is good for Duvall. Duvall just out of the corkscrew. Out of Rainey now in the 10. It's going to be a chance here for Duvall to take that spot from Fraley.
I think so. I got to put it all in the jar. I called him Frawley, didn't I? Well, I almost made it through the whole race. All right, Maljo is out. Eisler is out. Perez is long gone, of course. Fraley
gets left in the pit, so Duvall gets by up to 4th.
Yep. Fraley starting to roll right now. Car going by was Sean Kenning. He's a lap down. I think Fraley's going to cycle out in 5th. Oh, no, let's go to DuPont. Just happened in corner number 11.
Ooh. Oh, and he gets tagged.
He was on
by
the
Sean Carini.
On the heels of Landini, spins it in front. I believe it was Sebastian Marciero who got him.
He's backing up on the track there and gets tagged by Jean Carini, catches the front of that.
Oh. You're right, Sean. It was, you know what? It was Marciero that got by him, and he hit him, and then I think
it was Lobato. Coming in the pits there, you're going to see the car going in the pits. I think that was Moises Lobato, and he wraps the tire barrier on the inside, but Here, watching the turn. This is John Carini coming through. Yeah, here we go. Here's Lobato. Boom! Right in the tire barrier there, Sue.
Been a rough day for Lobato, as it has been for DuPont, who was making that run up through the field, and now he has to start all over again. In fact, Guillaume has called it a day.
Fun has turned to disappointment for some all of a sudden.
So here's a couple guys that managed to get around in one form or the other. DuPont, who was perpendicular or with the track, with the racing line, and this is Tyler Gore and Jean Carini. Battle for 8th. One of the better battles on the track, to be honest with you. Everybody else separated by at least 3 seconds. Only 13. Oh, no! And Carini cannot find the racing line. That is Gary Schilling, who's several laps down behind him. Take a look at this one from Jean Carini's perspective. Well, there we go. We'll ride on board. Off into the California sand. Bad news is he's not going to pick up 8th position. Good news is he does not lose a spot to Eric Luke, who is still about 7 seconds back in 10th. Okay, things have settled down a little bit here. The pit stops are done. We have 10 minutes of racing to go. Let's run down your order 5 at a time. It is Benjamin Perez out in front by 6.1 seconds, unchallenged the entire day. Sergio Maujo was able to come in, get the pit stop made without incident. He now races in second, 6 seconds behind the leader, about 10 seconds good to the man who's been chasing Perez for most of the season. Today races in third. This is Christian the Iceman Eisler. He's opened up about 5 seconds on Kenny Duval. And Kenny racing in no man's land as well. About 6 seconds behind Eisler and about 13 seconds to the good of Matthew Fraley. There's your top 5. Sean, who do you got back half of the top 10?
Soup, Juan Manuel Landini, currently in 6th. You know, that's right where he started. Now behind him is Sebastian Massiera, who continues his climb through the field after his early fall from Grace Soup. Now he is currently in 7th. Just behind him, chasing Tyler Gore. Split by almost 8 seconds here at this point. We're going to drop down to 9th, and that's John Carini right now. And he is only a little bit less than 3 seconds, but boy, on my screen, he's having some serious issues with his connection right now. Back at 10th, it's going to be Eric Luke. The Florida driver started 13th, Soup. He's kind of holding his own right now. Car's seen better days, but tell you what, a top 10, probably not a bad result for him if he can get it.
And what seems to be our tradition now is the top 10 plus 1. That'll give us all the cars on the lead lap. Let's go to 11th for Fernando Rodriguez. Last car on the lead lap. 1 minute and 10 seconds behind the leader of Benjamin Perez. That's about 7 seconds ahead of him on the track. With about 8 minutes of racing to go, it's going to be a tall order for Vargas to finish on the lead lap. When you're a back marker Rodriguez, when you're a back marker finishing on the lead lap is huge. And I don't mean to refer to Fernando Rodriguez as a back marker, but I'm just saying that'll get you the good chair and an extra bear claw at the Back Markers United.
Oh, extra bear claws. That's why I show up. Well, so I don't get fined.
22 cars started, 11 of them, half of them are on the lead lap still. Only a few who are out. And actually, let's give some credit to Sean Kenning. He's 10 laps down, still out there racing. Guillaume DuPont, the only driver really to call it a day, I believe. I said 22. Really, Sean, I think we had 21, and I don't think Matthew Cisna was able to.
I don't think he was, Super.
I don't think
he completed a lap at all.
Didn't take off.
He would have been the second Ford GT in the field. And we're sure missing Duchesne tonight. He's not here. And Ralph Connor left the only Ford GT in this field. He's not having a great run tonight, unfortunately. It's been a tough night for Ralph.
We like to mention Duchesne. We like to let him know that he's missed when he doesn't show up. Kind of like guests at the wedding. Oh, they'll never know we didn't come. We know if you don't show up for the reception.
We certainly do, Sue.
Just under 7 minutes of racing to go here at Laguna Seca. Just under 7 minutes of racing to go here in season number 12. Sponsored by the Precision Racing League. This is the American iRacing Tuesday series. John, it's been nice being with you here on Tuesday nights. You and I usually all get together on Tuesdays.
Yeah, it has been this season for me. Started in New York and now in Texas, and this is where it'll end up. And, well, if we're back next season, it may be in another location for me. We'll see, Sue.
Oh, I got some news that we can hear from the director. I can't guarantee the whole season, but we will be here for the opening round of season 13. Well, that's good news.
That is exciting news, yes. Now, I've been keeping my eyes on this, Soup. Director just telling us that Lobato's catching Vargas. I've been looking back to that every now and then. Their times are really, really close right now. Split by maybe just 1/100 of a second. And you know what? I'm starting to like Lobato a little bit more. He's had some trouble early, but he's picked a good time to get back on his horse.
Well, wasn't it Moises who put the car in the tires in pit lane, right? Am I correct on that?
That's correct.
Right?
Yes.
So, trying to make up for that. This is a battle to be the lead of all the cars one lap down. As Vargas is in 12th and Lobato in 13th right now. Oh, and as I say that, I apologize because I guess what has just happened is Fernando Rodriguez, yep, as I thought would be the case. Fernando just got passed by Benjamin Perez. No bear claw for Rodriguez. Eric Luke is next on the hit list. He's got about a couple corners here on Perez with just under 5 minutes of racing to go. So let's go back and check back in on Lobato. See what's going on. This will be fun too because coming up behind these guys, here comes the Iceman. We have not given him a lot of love here today. He's going to finish second in the points.
Oh, hang on, Sebastian Masiera is around. Oh, coming down into the entry hairpin.
And he scared Kelly Thornton right off the track. This is a fun one. Thornton doing a little mirror driving right here.
Well, Masiera, back there in 7th, and
honestly, I'm looking at that one. I'm not sure if Thornton was up to speed.
Yeah, I think Thornton might have confused Masiera there a little bit, Sue.
So did that cost Sebastian a spot? He was in 7th. He's still in 7th. He's going to be okay because the gaps are so big. All right, with that done, let's see if we can actually go back in and check in on Moises Lobato, see how he's doing. Well, the Iceman has got him. So let's put our attentions on, let's go ahead and put our attention on Lucio Vargas here, racing in 12th position, and watch him get out of the way. Now, Lobato is back by about 3 seconds. I'm not sure if he just has the pace. Maybe he might have given up a lot of ground to let Eisler go by. Now there's no cushion between them. The gap from Vargas now 1.5 seconds. Back to Lobato. Far off ahead of them. That is Sergio Maujo taking a trip. Maujo is actually going to lose the spot to Eisler. The driver in 3rd. What happened to Sergio Maujo? Let's see. Question is, you know what? That's his 2nd off. He has an off earlier. Was that coming out of, I can't recognize the corner. Then he gets it back on the track. Let's see if we can see the original one. Yeah, we're going to get it. Is that the left-hander out of 5 heading up the hill? So now he gets it going, but we're not done yet. So now he's looking at his mirrors because he knows the Iceman cometh. He gets it rolling. Here comes Eisler. And he puts it off there again. So, Sean, you never know here.
No, you don't.
The American iRacing Tuesday series, what's going to happen? Benjamin Perez says there, but for the grace of God, go I. Perez now with a 20-second lead. Just under 2 minutes of racing to go with lap times of about 1 minute and 17 seconds. We might have 2 more laps of racing to go as Perez is going to come. We'll have to see where he is when he crosses the finish line right now. There is Benjamin Perez. Sean, he has really put on a show this season. Early on, he was really pressured.
It's going to be 2 laps to go here, Soup, and you're absolutely right about that. Perez has been just short of, well, he's not been short of anything. He's been excellent this season, and obviously a championship helps that. But I'll tell you what, a very, very accomplished driver. I've enjoyed watching him run.
Eisler kept him honest, though. He made him work for it. He was there the whole time. A lot of 1-2 finishes for Perez and Eisler this season. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I bet you probably 8 of the 10 races they've been 1-2 in some order or other. Eisler now up into second with the mistake from Maljo. And Sean, once again, although Maljo keeps the car clean, he didn't put it in the wall. But again, the mistakes bite him. We mentioned that.
Yeah, and he's well. What can I say, Zoop? It seems to be a consistent thing with him. But you know what?
To his defense, he's not the only guy that has had trouble.
Right.
Once again, though, it got him. He's just can't seem to get that perfect race in.
Sorry, Sue, but I can confirm that we almost had a near mid-air collision with the GSRC blimp and the iRacing blimp.
Oh, really?
It caught me off guard there. Sorry about that.
Well, we don't pay our blimp pilot nearly as much as iRacing does.
No, he gets a hot dog. That's about it.
Yeah. Our blimp pilot doubles making balloon animals.
Somebody's had trouble with the hairpin. It's who is that? It's the 34. Is that Sean Kenning?
Yeah, boy, he has had a lot of trouble. This season cannot come to an end fast enough for
I think it was
Sean.
Kenning had a little trouble back there.
I think his trouble started by the way his parents spelled his name, right, Sean? That's not the proper way to spell that.
Wow, you're going to get me to comment on that, really? Well, I don't think he's spelling it the right way, but you know what? I'm sure he's quite happy. Him and his family are quite happy with the way it's spelled. All right, back to the lead. Benjamin Perez.
Working through the corkscrew. I'm a little sad. I don't want it to end. It's all right.
Kind of like that visit I had with my mom today. I didn't want it to end, Soup. I was like, Mom, I'm live on the air in 3 hours. I gotta go.
Well, here we go. He negotiates the final corner. Nothing between him and the start-finish line now. Give the American iRacing Tuesday the Lone Cypress season finale for round 12 from Laguna Seca to Benjamin Perez. Christian Eisler gets second. Sergio Maljo gets third. Assuming they can negotiate the final corners, they do. No real battles on the track, Sean.
Yeah, Soup, they kind of left us late there in the race, but that's okay. It was still a good one. Tough day for a couple of drivers. Maybe not quite as much fun as they'd hoped to have.
That's the final race of the season. We'll stay in all these lead lap cars as they come across, give them a little love. There's Matthew Fraley. He's going to come home in 5th position. About 45 seconds behind our race winner. And then Juan Manuel Landini.
Now, Jean Carini is leading Luke right now for 9th. Luke closing a little bit as they came down the hill and got through Rainey. But I don't think it's going to be enough unless he outbreaks him here in the final turn.
We saw Masiera and Gore going 7th and 8th. Carini comes across in 9th. And Sean documented it. Eric Luke, the last car on the lead lap. 10 cars on the lead lap. That'll be good when we run down the finishing order. We like it when the drivers cooperate and all the lead lap cars finish at the page break. With that done, the racing is over here at Laguna Seca, but our broadcast, is far from done. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back to run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers, before we put on a lock on the gate for the very last time this season. Back to you.
Your audience wants to see more of you. They want to see your logo personified, see behind the curtain, see who actually makes up the company, not just another machine that's spitting out content like a machine.
I'm a pretty lucky dad right here.
One of the main surprises to me is how in-depth you guys wanted to go to build the website based off of who we are. So I was extremely impressed with that.
Sanctioned by the Precision Racing League, welcome back to GSRC's coverage of the American iRacing Tuesday Series. It's the Lone Cypress Season 12 finale from Laguna Seca that just wrapped up here. Let's give you the finishing order. It was your champion going out on a high note. Benjamin Perez picks up another win this season ahead of his main rival, the Iceman, Christian Eisler. Rounding out the podium was Sergio Pismaujo, but not without a blemish that cost him a runner-up spot. Kenny Duvall and Matthew Fraley go 4th and 5th. The back half of your top 10 is Juan Manuel Landini, Sebastian Maciera. Tyler Gore went from 11th to 8th. Starting in 9th, finishing in the same position was Jean Carini. And rounding out your top 10, the last car on the lead lap, Eric Luke. Sean?
Soup, I am going to take the rest of the field here, and it's going to be Fernando Rodriguez with an 11th place finish. Lucio Vargas will finish 12th. Moises Lobato, 13th. 14th, Mark File. Richard Colomb in 15th today. 16th, going to go to Hugo Gallas. 17th, Gary Schilling. Ralph Connor Jr. going to finish 18th. 19th, Kelly Thornton. Sean Kenning with a 20th place finish. And Guillaume DuPont. Soup. The poor Canadian had a rough day. Started up at 7th. He's going to finish last in the field today, 21st. Matthew Sisna did not start this race. So, Soup, it was a good run to the end of this season and a lot of fun. And I think we've got a couple people to talk to.
You know, it feels like I've talked to Benjamin Perez the last couple times. So, Sean, why don't you take our race winner and champion for your first interview?
All right, let's get him in here. And there he is. Ben, can you hear me, my friend?
Hello.
Hey, Ben, congratulations, man. And another victory here on Tuesday night. Tell us a little bit about your race. What was the strategy going in?
Well, I mean, basically, we discussed it last week. I pretty much had the championship clinched. So my goal for tonight was to just come in, show up, and whatever happened, happened. Obviously the goal is always to win, but it wasn't critical that I did. So I just took it easy. It was a fun race. You know, I just kind of, a little bit of a, not Sunday, but I guess Tuesday drive for me.
Did you try anything new? Did you experiment with anything? I know sometimes when you're in that position, use it as an opportunity to look forward to next season.
Didn't really experiment with anything. Just kind of went with the usual. Next season is going to be interesting for me because I'm planning on running the Ford. So I think that's what's going to make it interesting.
There you go.
I am standing and applauding right. That a boy.
Well, I mean, I've been driving the Ferrari for the past 3 seasons now, I think. I wanted to mix it up a little bit and, maybe challenge myself on setting up the Ford. So you'll be seeing me in that pig face next
Nice.
season.
Well, we're a fan of the pig face, so we are also big fans of bacon. So, no, really, though, Benjamin, a great season. Congratulations on the championship. You've already made a huge revelation. It's funny, I was going to ask you if there were any big announcements that you had for next season, and, well, that's pretty big. Is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Well, of course, I want to thank the organizers at the league over at Precision Racing League. The guys are running a very well-organized league. As well as to you guys for putting on the broadcast. It's always enjoyable to go back and watch them, and listen to the storylines that you guys develop from our racing and stuff. And of course, I want to thank the guys over at Bushfink because they're all amazing, and gotta love that paint.
Yeah, big fan of it. Always have been. Guys over at Bushfink are a lot of fun. Benjamin, congratulations.
Hey, one last question,
ahead,
Benjamin. You going to get yourself a partner next season? Maybe run as a team?
Oh, actually, that's a great question. I am getting a partner next season. I have another guy from Bushfink that's coming over, Cameron Barry. Will be racing with me. So we'll be fighting for the team championship next season. That's for sure.
All right, I'll pull for you anyway, even though that Bushfink is going to be over here. Those guys, boy, they're everywhere. They're coming. All right, thanks, Benjamin. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Benjamin Perez, our race winner and champion. That was some news you broke there, Sean.
Yeah, I really was setting up to ask him, if he had any announcements for next season, and he just dropped it on us right there, and then drops the mic on the way out. So
going
good
to
stuff.
The board. Well, here's a guy that had to be surprised when qualifying was done. We're talking with Kenny Duvall. He finished 4th. Kenny, you found yourself on the inside of row 2. That was a little bit alarming.
I came back from taking my race preparation break to be quite shocked. Third place qualifying here was pretty shocking.
You had the Iceman behind you early. He got around you. Then after that, it was a pretty good run. Fraley back there kept you honest, but Laguna Seca didn't get you.
Oh, turn four killed me the entire race. I struggled out of that one. So I just gave it up to Christian and let him by because I was probably going to end up crashing us both.
You happy with the way your season went?
Overall, not bad. Not bad. This is a pretty fast crowd up front, so if you can finish in the top 5, that's not a bad season.
You coming back for one more run when they announce the schedule?
I will be back in the fall. I will be helping our group of guys with setup and practice, but I will not be running season 13. I will be back in the fall. It's summertime here. It is time to be outside. Which is often the case for series in the summertime.
I like that attitude, by the way.
Yeah, I do as well. Well, congratulations. We look forward to seeing you. If not on here on the American iRacing Tuesday series, keep an eye on GSRC. Maybe you can pop in to one of the races that we broadcast over there. It's fun to see you on the track.
You guys have done an awesome job. Even if I'm not racing, I will be watching the Tuesday night series to support my crew.
All right. It's good to have another viewer. All right.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Was Kenny Duvall, your 4th place finisher today. And I believe, Sean, or as everyone else, are we done here? Anyone else going to come and talk to us? Sadly, I think that's it, Soup. And it's like you said earlier, I just don't want it to end. Well, we got the good news from our director that you're going to talk about here a little bit later. Now, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I'd like to thank everybody at Precision Racing League for organizing the American iRacing Tuesday series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. We know you have a lot of choices when you fly. Thanks for flying GSRC. Sean? Soup, this concludes the Global SimRacing Channel coverage of the American iRacing Tuesday series. We've been honored to be chosen as the exclusive broadcaster for Season 12, bringing you the entire schedule from the opening round to the season finale and all the points in between. We certainly hope to be back for the full season next season, but right now we know we're going to be back for Round 1. Don't have the exact details on that, trust me. Follow GSRC on social media. We'll keep you up to date as soon as we've got a date announcement for that first race. We'll let you know. Until then, sliding across the screen now are some upcoming broadcasts, so check those out. Mark them down on your calendar. We've got a very busy night tomorrow night here on the Global SimRacing Channel. Check us out then when we've got the Ad Pro series with us and the Lionheart IndyCar series. If you'd like more information about GSRC, including a complete list of future broadcasts, you can find them at our website, globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel. Facebook, just go over there and type in Global Sim Racing Channel, all one word. I know it's kind of long, but all one word. You'll find us there. Instagram,
GSRC_Graham. While you're here, if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe, hit that big red button, and like us.
It would not be a GSRC broadcast. We could not close up the season without my partner messing up the squares. He forgot to thank our sponsors.
Oh, I did.
Yes, that's all right. It's in red. It's, you talk about me being colorblind. It's clearly here. I'm going to do these. Apex Button Box. Affordable, reliable button boxes for those who don't have the time, material, or talent to make their own. Visit them at facebook.com/Apex Button Box. And also, Transto Transport and Logistics. I wish I could tell you who the clean driver was, but we'll tell you that when we come back for the first race next season. A professional transport service on flatbed type trailers with loading ramps, deck lengths of 40 feet, and 20,000 pounds capacity. Visit them at transto.ca/home, and of course they offer the Transto Cup, $75 to the cleanest driver. Thanks to the company's equipment and software that you see on the screen right now that we use on the broadcast, the iconic music that lets your ears alert your eyes that you're watching a GSRC production comes courtesy of Eric Eklund and Casey Lawn. See the screen to how to contact each of them. Finally, on behalf of the man whose voice you just heard, me, Sean Ambrose, also my partner, our director Joe Peak, and our camera artist Dougie Beard. Gotta thank all of you for watching. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.